What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and 'tis the season for Christmas noobs. Yes, it's just after Christmas, and since it is, a lot of people have just received the game. And a lot of people who just get the game have a lot of trouble getting their kill-death ratio higher, maybe above 1, maybe above 2, depending on how good of a player you are. So today I thought I would just give you guys some simple tips, very easy, very simple. You can literally do these in the next 5 minutes to improve your kill-death ratio. Now, as far as these kind of tips and tricks videos, I don't do them too often, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, but if you guys do enjoy this type of videos where I just give you guys some simple tips and tricks to make you a better player, all you have to do to show me is hit that like button. The more likes this video gets, the more likely I am to do more and more videos like this one. So, what are the tips and tricks? What is going to improve you at this game? So, coming in at number 5, we have sensitivity. Now, this is one that I address during every single Call of Duty game, because I really do personally believe that every Call of Duty game, you should use a different sensitivity. Now, let me explain why. Different Call of Duty games have different movement mechanics. If you go back to Sledgehammer's last game, Advanced Warfare, they have what I like to call the pogo stick movement. The movement where you could jump very quickly and fast up into the air to get on top of ledges, to get on top of buildings, so on and so forth. What this meant is that people were moving a lot faster up and down than they were side to side, and because of this, in that game, I recommended using a higher vertical sensitivity than horizontal sensitivity. What this would allow you to do is stay on target faster when people were boosting up into the air. Then comes Black Ops 3, and in Black Ops 3 I recommended using a 1 higher horizontal sensitivity than a vertical sensitivity. Reason being because the wall running, the sliding, and the fast movement that you could do side to side, as opposed to the kind of slower boost jump that they had in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And I actually recommended the exact same thing for Infinite Warfare. Now, come Call of Duty World War II, you have another type of movement altogether, the boots on the ground movement. With this movement, the enemy characters really aren't going to be boosting up and down, jumping into the air at all. They are going to be running on the ground. What this means is you can have a really low vertical sensitivity with a higher horizontal sensitivity. So what I recommend is making your horizontal sensitivity higher than your vertical sensitivity. So in Black Ops 3, the sensitivity that I used was 8 horizontal and 7 vertical. However, in Call of Duty World War II, since everyone is moving so much slower, and it's so much more based on where your body is positioned, I actually use a really low sensitivity. I use a 3 vertical and a 5 horizontal. This is by far the lowest sensitivity I have used in years. But do I recommend this for you? No, not really. I recommend you going in, hopping in, and trying out a whole bunch of different sensitivities. Find which you feel comfortable with. The only thing I would recommend is using a horizontal sensitivity higher than your vertical sensitivity. Trust me, just give it a shot, try a bunch of different levels, and I'm sure you'll find something that works fabulous for you. But that's what I recommend for sensitivity. The second tip I can offer you guys is gaming peripherals. These may include headsets, control freaks, or an adjustable controller. Now let me explain all of these. First of all, a headset. You don't need something expensive, you just need something that's going to allow you to hear the enemy's footsteps. I would recommend, if you don't have a ton of money, spending around $50, and if you have a good amount of money, I recommend Astro headsets. Astro A40s or A50s. I use the A50s, they're just wireless, that's the only reason why. I am not sponsored by them, they are just the type that I use, and they've really never failed for me. That being said, if you don't have a ton of money, spending $50 on a headset, there's no problem with that. The only difference is Astros or a more expensive headset might just work a little bit better, or the battery will last a little bit longer. That's really the only difference. The second thing I can recommend is an adjustable controller, and what I mean by that is a controller that has buttons on the back of it that you can set what buttons they do. Back in Black Ops 3, I would have one set for the X button and one set for the circle button. That would allow me to jump or melee a person with the back paddles, making me not have to take my thumbs off the control sticks. What this does is it just allows you to play the game a little bit faster and never have to not aim at an enemy because your thumbs are always going to be on the control sticks. A lot of people use scuff controllers. They're fine. The only problem I have with them is that they are really, really expensive, and I've had 3 that have broken on me. The other option, and the one that I use, is something called a Nancon Revolution. This thing is awesome. I've had it for almost a year now, and it has never caused me any problems. It's literally 100% adjustable. You can switch all of the buttons via a program you download on the PC. It is very easy to use, and I definitely recommend it. I believe it was like $130 when I bought it, which is kind of the same price, if not a little bit cheaper than SCUF controllers. And the final peripheral I can offer you is Control-Freaks. These are so cheap and make your aim so much better. I literally cannot play a Call of Duty game without using Control-Freaks. Now, I am sponsored by Control-Freaks, and if I'm being honest, if there's one of these products you should buy, it is Control-Freaks. The number one reason being, it is the least amount of money you can spend to improve your kill death the most. These things are amazing. Basically, what they do is they give you a little bit extra length on your thumbsticks, allowing you to be that much more accurate, because then you don't have to move your thumb as much to move your character's aim more. It's super simple. They're like $10, and if you use the coupon code INK, I-N-K, just 3 letters at checkout, you get yourself 10% off, and you get me a little bit of money. So, all in all, the cheapest and probably best thing you can buy to improve your kill-death ratio is Control-Freaks. Like I said, you can use the coupon code INK at checkout, save yourself some money. On top of that, I would recommend a gaming headset and some sort of special controller that you have adjustable buttons on the back for. All in all, those things are really expensive, and if you want to spend the least amount of money to improve your kill death, I recommend Control-Freaks, as I mentioned. Now, tip number 3 is the game mode that you play. Now, this is going to be directly related with how good of a player you are. If you're a very good player, you're going to want to play longer game modes where you're able to rack up more kills and more score streaks. 2 awesome game modes for this right now are Hardpoint and Kill Confirmed. But of course, since that is the case, a lot better players are going to be playing in there. So if you have a sub 1.0 kill death ratio, I recommend simply just playing Team Deathmatch for 2 reasons. First of all, the most people play Team Deathmatch, meaning you're going to play against worse players. On top of that, Team Deathmatch is the easiest game mode to play to learn spawns, to learn where people are going to spawn, why they're going to spawn there, and when they are going to spawn there. It's simple enough. It has the easiest spawn system to learn, next to maybe Domination. The only other recommendation I could give if you're really having trouble judging spawns is play Gridiron. Reason being, these spawns don't move in Gridiron. You're always going to spawn at your home base, and the other team's always going to spawn at their home base. Meaning, yes, you can get spawn trapped, but at the same time, it's very easy to tell where the enemies are going to be. So all in all, if you're not a great player, maybe Gridiron or Team Deathmatch is the best way to improve that KD. But if you're a great player, you're going to play against better players in Hardpoint and Kill Confirmed, but it's going to be easier to get score streaks, and because it's a longer game, it's also going to be easier to get more kills. The next easy tip I can give you to raise your kill death almost instantly is what score streaks are you using. You should be using score streaks that you can get every maybe 5 deaths. So if you're not a great player, maybe a sub 1.0 KD, you want to stick with really low score streaks. But if you're a good player or a decent player, you want to stick with score streaks you're going to be able to earn regularly. The reason being, think of score streaks as a free way of improving your kill death ratio. For example, if you call in a glide bomb, it's going to get you 1 free kill, and in doing so is going to make it easier to have a higher kill death. Because you're not putting your character at risk when using these score streaks, you're not going to die, which means you're basically getting free kills. So you should try to get these score streaks as frequently as possible, meaning you should choose the proper score streak for the amount of skill you actually have. Like I said, try to get one every 5 deaths, and in doing so, you're going to very easily raise that kill death ratio. And last but absolutely not least, this tip goes out to the people who are pretty much brand new to the game. Use simple guns to use. And what I mean by that is that there's certain guns in the game that are good but difficult to use, some of which are like the MP40 or sometimes the PPSH. But there are certain weapons that are really good that are super easy to use. These weapons would include the BAR, the STG, the grease gun, and finally the Type 100. The reason why these guns are very good is because they have a good damage profile, a really good fire rate, and on top of that, very low recoil, meaning they're going to be easy to use. So if you're a new player, try to stick to those weapons. The 5th one I could recommend is the PPSH, but because it has a little bit faster of a fire rate, you're going to kill people faster, but at the same time, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to use. So stick with the easy guns to use, the low recoil weapons, and in doing so, you'll see that kill death ratio climb. So guys, these, if you ask me, are the 5 easiest and simplest ways to raise your kill-death ratio. I know these are kind of beginner tips, but hopefully they were able to help you out. If you would like me to make a video in the future talking about more in-depth ways of raising that kill-death, whether that be reading certain types of spawns, how to play different strategies on different types of game modes, just let me know down in the comments or simply hit that like button. It'll show me that you enjoy these type of videos. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, you can always hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to stay up to date on all my videos. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
Hold on to me.